Right, I will start from count and then the criteria. And the range represents a range of values on which the criteria will be applied, or in other words, the column on which the criteria will be applied, or the column on which you pick the criteria from. Now, the criteria represent the condition that is applied to the range of values. So this is the syntax or how CountIF works. So when the condition or the criteria is more than one, then we use CountIFs. And then when the criteria is one, we use CountIF. But at the same time, for the purpose of the examination, CountIFs can also be used even when the condition is even one. Right, so I'm going to use these data files and then solve questions regarding CountIF and then CountIFs. So first of all, I'm going to open 4 expressions, spreadsheet, and then I will solve this question. It says work in the trip worksheet. Insert a function in cell C3 to determine how many schools from the Eastern Cape visited the zoo during December. So whenever you get a question regarding CountIFs or CountIF, first of all, you need to determine, this question says insert a function. It didn't mention whether you must use CountIF or you must use SUMIF. Now, how are you going to determine whether it is CountIF or SUMIF? Whenever you see how many or you see total number, so take note, when you see how many or you see total number, by this question, they could have just said, insert a function to determine the total number of people from Eastern Cape who visited the zoo during December. So they could have put that question like that. So when you see total number, then you know it is also CountIF or CountIFs. But then when you see total without the keyword number, then it is SUMIF with a condition. So this question says you must find how many schools visited or from Eastern Cape visited the zoo during December. So I'm going to open my file, which is 4 excursions. Now my question says I must find how many people from Eastern Cape visited the zoo in December. Now this is school groups in December 2023. So they want all those who are from Eastern Cape. So you must check Eastern Cape is in the province, which is column E. So we have KZN, we have GP, WC, and then Free State. Now they want us to count how many are from Eastern Cape, EC. So you just have to study the data and see which column are you going to pick the criteria from. So in this case, from E7 up to E153 is the range, and then the criteria will be EC. So we are going to insert a function in 4.3. I think this is 4.3. Let me go through the question once more. Yeah, it says insert a function in C3. So this is C3. So we will have to insert a function in C3 to determine how many people are from Eastern Cape. So we press equal sign. Remember, every function or formula must begin with equal sign. So I first of all press equal sign. Then I start typing CountIF. So you can use, like I said, you can use CountIF or CountIFs. So for the benefit of the examination purpose, let us use CountIFs. And then you click on FX as well. Now it says criteria range 1. Like I said, where do we find the provinces? That is column F. Do not click on F and then it select everything for you. Please, learners, Don't click on F. All that you need to do is to select the values. So column E, don't click on column E. Just select the values. That is from E7 up until E153, because if you just choose the whole column, you are going to lose mark there. So up to E153. And then fortunately, it's going to show all the values here for you. Now, from this column here, which one are we looking for? We are looking for EC. So you can either type EC or you can use the wild card, which is E star or E asterisk. That means beginning with letter E. E and then other letters that are following. So we use the other letters that are following to the star to represent other letters that we don't know. So meaning beginning with letter E. And then you click OK. So we got 23. Now, if let's say you got a question that says, how many are from Eastern Cape? And then having the number of learners that are 60 or more. So we want Eastern Cape that are having 60 or more. So in this case, we have more than one criteria. So again, equal sign, CountIFs. As you start typing the function, you look at it here, double click on the FX, click on FX here from the formula bar as well. Now, first of all, we will select all the provinces, that is from E7 up to E153. Then criteria range 1 will be E asterisk, that may begin with letter E. Then criteria range 2, we are looking for those that are having learners that are more than 60, which is in column G. And we don't need to select the values in column G. You can do that as well. But once you know the range here, you can just say G7 up until G153. Or you can just select them, that is from G7 up to G153. Now, what do we need, or what criteria do we have to put here that are more than 60? That means greater than 60. And then you click OK. So here we got 11, which means the number that are from Eastern Cape and then are more than 60, we have 11. So this is all about the CountIF. Now, let me look at another question again regarding CountIF or CountIFs. I will take this one as well. This one, 3 countries. So I'm going to open 3 countries. Right. Now, the 3 countries, according to the question, it says, insert a function in cell P13 to determine how many countries were first held in the 1980s for 6 marks. In most cases, the count if the criteria is more than 1, you'll be having 4, 5, or 6 marks. Now, again, because of how many, we will use CountIFs. Now, it says in column B, those that were first held in 1980s. So let's go and check in column B, which says first year first held. 1980s, meaning that from 1980 up to 1989. So 1983 is part, 1988, 1980, 1991 is not part. All right. So we are going to put the answer in cell P13. So I'll go to P13. Right. P13. all those that were first held in the 1980s. So I will use CountIFs. CountIFs, you click on FX. Now the criteria range 1, we select the values in column B. That is from B5 up until B75. Now the criteria 1, they said 1980, that means greater or equal to 1980. Or say greater than 1979. And then the criteria range 2, we select the same values in column B. That is from B6 or B5 up until B75. And then the criteria 2 is less than or equals to 1990. Or less than or equals to 1989. That means that is from 1980 up to 1989. And then you click OK. So we got 24. So basically, CountIFs, you can have so many criteria, and then you get the answer right. Now, this is all about CountIF. Now, with the SumIfs is whereby you are going to add based on certain criteria. You are going to add based on certain criteria. I will look at this question. Or let me do this also and add it. Yes, let me do this question as well. 3 population. 3 population. Now, according to the question, it says insert a function in cell C4 to display the number of islands where the word parts appear in the description of the formation in column B. So this is the 3 population, and then we have description. We have the description in column B. Now they want how many islands here are having the word part, like you see a part of a larger island, or part anywhere, part of a larger island. So where we have the word part in it, the part can be at the beginning or at the end. So the question wants us to find the number that has part in it, which will be equal sign, CountIFs as well. Don't forget to click on this FX. So even if your formula is wrong, you can get a mark for the CountIFs function. Now the criteria range 1, we go and find or select the values in column B. And then the criteria, you see, they said the one that contains the word part. Contains, we use the wild card, which is asterisk, part, asterisk. That means contains. If you put the asterisk before and then after, that means it contains. So if I put the asterisk only before, that means it ends. So because I put the asterisk before and asterisk after the word part, then it means it contains. Then I click OK. So I got 10. So 10 of these are having the word part anyway. So let us make use of wildcards whenever we are answering this type of question. All right, thank you.